जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा. First of all, I would like to take the blessings of all the Vaishnavas, assembled Vaishnavas. Hare Krishna. Today we are covering verses third canto, first chapter, 41st verse to 45th verse. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, are you sharing, Mataji? Or shloka goes like this. Somyanusochetam adhapatantam bhatre paretaya vidudruheya niryapito yena suhratsa purya aham saputran samanuhratena. Translation: O gentle one, I simply lament for he, Dhritarashtra, who rebelled against his brother after death. By him I was driven out of my own house, although I am his sincere well-wisher, because he accepted the line of action adopted by his own sons. Somebody would like to read 42nd verse?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Dandavat.
42nd Prabhuji.
Yeah, 42nd.
Soham harer matya vidambanena drusho nunanam chalay yato vidhatu jnanyo phalaksha padavim prasada charami pashyan gata vismayotra. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Translation.
Hare Krishna. Translation, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. I am not astonished at this, having traveled over the world without being seen by others. The activities of the personality of Godhead, which are like those of a man in this mortal world, are bewildering to others. But I know of his greatness by his grace, and thus I am happy in all respects. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. 43. We'll finish all the verses and then continue.
Shall I,
the class.
Prabhuji?
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Dhanavad Pranam. Nunam nripanam trimatotpatanam mahi mohoshchalayatam chamukhihi vadat prapannati jiheshayesho api upaikshat tagam bhagavan kurunam. Dhanavad Pranam, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Dandavat pranams, Mataji. Translation. Somebody can read translation.
Sudha Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat Pranam. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. The appearance of the Lord is manifested.
Which one, Mataji?
Sorry. Despite his being the Lord and being always willing to relieve the distress of sufferers, he, Krishna, refrained from killing the Kurus, although they committed all sorts of sins, and although he saw other kings constantly agitating the earth by their strong military movements carried out under the dictation of three kinds of false pride. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Text 44.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Meenakshi Mataji can read, please.
Yeah.
You carry on, Mataji. I'll read the next. No problem.
Hare Krishna. Ajasya janmo patanashanaya karmanya kartu grahanaya pumsam nanva anyatha ko arhati deha yogam Paro Gunanamut Karma Tantram. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Translation.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The appearance of the Lord is manifested for the annihilation of the upstarts. His activities are transcendental and are enacted for the understanding of all persons. Otherwise, since the Lord is transcendental to all material modes, what purpose could he serve by coming to earth? Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam.
Hare Krishna. 45.
Prashanti Mataji.
Mataji, can I see the Sanskrit one? Yeah. Tasya prapanna kila lokapana mavastitana manusrashane sve arthaya jatasya yadushvajasya vartam sake kitayati takite. Shall I read translation, Mataji?
Mataji Shobha Mataji will read translation.
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Mataji, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Oh, my friend, please therefore chant the glories of the Lord, who is meant to be glorified in the places of pilgrimage. He is unborn, and yet he appears by his causeless mercy upon the surrendered rulers of all parts of the universe. Only for their interest did he appear in the family office and alloyed devotees, the Yadus. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna. Hare Krishna. So, in this section of Srimad Bhagavatam, this is the dialogue between Vidura and Uddhava. And here Vidura is inquiring from Uddhava, so into the subject matter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and his transcendental relationships with his devotees. So basically Vidura has left the home, and he's not quite happy with that, but he is wandering on the pilgrimage. And we have to understand that it is the great treasure of all fortunate souls to hear the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his relationship with his devotees. So that's what, throughout Shrimad Bhagavatam we see the subject matter, and we have to understand there is no difference between Krishna speaking directly, or we hear about Krishna from the pure devotees who are engaged in the loving service of Lord. So Krishna manifests through the sound vibration from the pure devotees. So that is the purpose of Lord, to descend to this world also, and that is the devotee's purpose also is in line with the purpose of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuttanam adharmasya tadatmanam srajamyaham. Lord appears to annihilate the miscreants, paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam. So to re-establish the dharma, dharma samstapanartaya sambhavami yuge yuge. And mostly he descends to protect his devotees. But here Srila Prabhupada is telling what is real protection. Does the Lord means? Is it a protection to the physical body? What is the real protection that Krishna is talking about here? So he's attracting the people by his wonderful leela, by wonderful activities, so that the conditioned souls, they can or the devotees, they can hear about the wonderful teachings and pastimes of the Lord and come out of the cycle of repeated birth and death. That is the real protection, coming out of the cycle of birth and death. Therefore, most important topic is that Lord mercifully descends into this world, and he is creating so many wonderful pastimes so that devotees can discuss these topics and they can be relieved from all the material sufferings by discussing this transcendental subject matter. So Maharaj Parikshit, he set an example. So he was cursed to die within 7 days. And how he heard Shrimad Bhagavatam. He was not eating at all. He was not sleeping at all. So he got the very, kind of obstruction in his happy life. Everything was going very smooth, and he was all stages were glorifying Parikshit Maharaj, and he subdued Kali, and here we see a little Brahmana boy is cursing Maharaj Parikshit. And if one person is having false pride, his false pride gets smashed, because he's a king of entire whole earth, and he's such a powerful king that all the sages are glorifying him, and a small boy has cursed him. So for a materialistic person, it is a big blow for his false pride. But here, what did Maharaj Parikshit did? It's a terrible crisis in his life to die within 7 days. But what did Maharaj Parikshit do? He went to hear about Shrimad Bhagavatam, this transcendental subject matter. From whom? From Srila Sukadeva Goswami, who is one of the pure souls. And when he is hearing the Shrimad Bhagavatam class, he's transcendental to the sleep, transcendental to food, and no sleeping, continuously hearing. So much eagerness to hear about Lord's pastimes. So we can understand Lord's real mercy comes when he descends down to perform various wonderful pastimes, so that devotees can discuss about this. So we may think, oh, this happened 5,000 years back. Lord has not come to meet me personally. How can I see him directly? It's not like that. This is the transcendental sound vibration. So I'm hearing these pastimes through a pure devotee or a devotee, through the transcendental sound vibrations. Actually, Krishna is manifesting through these sound vibrations. So Sukadeva Goswami here in the Shrimad Bhagavatam is mentioning the stories which happened millions of years before, maybe in some Satya Yuga of ages before Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj, and Varahadev, which happened millions of years before. We hear 10th canto, Krishna's pastimes. But here Maharaja Parikshit, he was living in those pastimes by hearing it. Actually, he was feeling that these pastimes are happening right now. In fact, we know Maharaj Parikshit had seen Krishna when he in the womb. But in this situation, he is completely feeling the presence of Krishna in those sound vibration. He is experiencing Lord Krishna through this sound vibration, which is coming from the lotus mouth of Srila Sukadeva Goswami. So that's why Srila Prabhupada used to say that, the same thing which was available for Arjuna, which is 5,000 years ago, the same thing is even available to us. If we hear the Bhagavad Gita with humility and devotion. And whatever Gopas and Gopis in Vrindavan they experienced, it is available even now, even today. If one hears with complete submission and very humbly and in very eager to hear the pastimes of Krishna, because that is the power of transcendental sound vibration. So to please his devotees uh, through sound vibration, Krishna, he is giving the access to the all the spiritual rasas. One can experience all the spiritual rasas through these sound vibration and get relief from all material sufferings. So this section, Vidura was traveling on the long pilgrimage because he was badly insulted by Duryodhana. Mm. And he is inquiring from Uddhava about Krishna and hearing about Krishna. So he's experiencing the similar thing what Parikshit Maharaj was experiencing when he was hearing from Srila Sukadeva Goswami. So same way, all the great personalities, all the similar way, the Arjuna or Maharaja Parikshit or Vidura, they were hearing with such eagerness to hear, and therefore when they hear from the authorized source or the Guru Parampara, Krishna is manifesting through these sound vibrations. So that's why eagerness to hear Krishna Katha, hear about Krishna's activities, that is one of the greatest virtues which we have to develop in our spiritual life. We have to aspire to develop this eagerness to hear, because Krishna reveals himself to us according to the degree how we approach him. Ye yata mam prapadyante tamstataiva bhajamyaham. So Krishna is actually, he's non-different from his holy name, pastimes, his paraphernalia, his dham. So Krishna is given through all this, his devotees also. Through his devotees also, he is teaching us wonderful qualities. So actually we cannot understand these things unless we get the mercy from Krishna or Krishna's devotees. Krishna's great devotees, they teach us how to approach Krishna. So here Vidura, or if we take Arjuna, they are all approaching Krishna through transcendental sound vibration. And how they are approaching? With the sense of urgency. Krishna consciousness is urgent and emergency. So to the degree we are eager, that it is very much necessary for my survival in the spiritual life. That is very much that important, that I eagerly hear, not that, oh, now it is 7:45 or 8:30 p.m. I have to sit for the Bhagavatam class. Okay, I'll come and sit for the Bhagavatam class so that nobody will speak anything about that. I'm hearing Shrimad Bhagavatam class, and I don't know when the class will get over. I hope Prabhuji will finish on time, because it is a great austerity to sit in the class. So when the class will finish, now if we are having this type of consciousness, then we may be hearing so many words in the Srimad Bhagavatam class, but it will have very minimum purification in the heart. It is the same thing with all devotional activities. If we are coming through, coming in front of deity, and we ask, okay, I have come before the deity now. When the arti will be over so that I can run back to home? Or if we are chanting in the morning, when will my rounds be finished? Still 9 rounds to go, still 8 rounds to go. When will I finish my round so that I can relax and do my other activities? So if we are approaching Lord in this, or holy name or deities in this, it is not the way we should be dealing with the Lord. And that's not our acharyas have taught us. Mahajanoena gata sapanta. We know Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was going towards to see Jagannath, he was not caring whether there is a thorn. He was simply running, and he was feeling that separation from the Lord. So much separation from the Lord. When will I see Lord Jagannath? When will I see Lord Jagannath? And when he comes before the deity of Lord Jagannath, his heart is full of anticipation with the Lord. That, oh, I am seeing the Lord of my heart. And if he is feeling unconscious with ecstatic love. Same thing with hearing Shrimad Bhagavatam. When in Gadadhar Pandit's home, when they were hearing Shrimad Bhagavatam, so much rapt attention, so much eagerness to hear Shrimad Bhagavatam. Not like I have already heard this before, Prabhuji is telling the same story. I already know this story. Not like that. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to hear the class about, say, Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj, he used to say, speak it again. Then again, a whole pastime is repeated. Speak it again. Again, the pastime is repeated. Sometimes it used to happen for hundred times. Same Prahlad Maharaj story, Dhruva Maharaj story. Again, speak it again, speak it again. And it is repeated for 100 times. Entire day they are hearing Shrimad Bhagavatam with rapt attention. Again and again, same story. And similar thing used to happen in Kirtan. In Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to go in the divine mode of tasting the nectar of Harinam Sankirtan. So much eager to hear the holy name and hear the Kirtan, and was chanting and continuously dancing, completely immersed in the Kirtan. Even sometimes some intimate associates, they wanted to ask something to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so much immersed in the Kirtan, they were not able to ask anything. Even their intimate associates, so much immersed in Kirtan, so much nectar he was relishing. So much eagerness to hear the Kirtan. So in this way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so much eagerness to see the Lord Jagannath, so much eagerness to hear about Shrimad Bhagavatam, so much eagerness to hear the Kirtan. And in the similar way, we may say he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But we see the similar thing in this great devotees, great Vaishnavas. They show similar characteristics. Srila Prabhupada, 1972, he was in New Vrindavan, and Janmashtami day. They were reading from Krishna book, and the room was very small there, and hundreds of devotees, because it's Janmashtami, very, very crowded. It's very hot, because small room, and some devotees are reading Krishna book. No fans, no ventilation, no in the midnight, because it's a simple farm community, nothing, no electricity, nothing was there. But Srila Prabhupada was engrossed, and he was sitting straight and hearing about Krishna Katha, Krishna book. And other devotees may be thinking it's fasting, we are feeling hungry, fatigue is there, so much heat. But Srila Prabhupada, he was hearing next chapter. So hours he used to hear, because he was experiencing Krishna there through this transcendental sound vibration. So when we hear about this sacrifice and glories of a devotee, or any Krishna Katha, Krishna is manifesting through that sound vibration. And that is the main reason why Krishna descends to this world. Maybe in our life, we may be having so many karmic debts, so many karmas, or whatever, karma bija, kama bija. So we have so many attachments to so many things of this world. So much attachment to the body, body of so much attachment to our body, so much attachment to others' body. Mm, completely under the shackles of three modes of material nature, and because of this attachment we are taking birth after birth after birth. Punarapi jananam punarapi maranam punarapi janane jatare shayanam. So we are from millions of years, birth after birth after birth, so many attachments we have. We are not able to give up our attachments, somehow maintaining our attachments and struggling with the hard struggle for existence. But Krishna is Atmaram, self-satisfied. That is the difference between Krishna and the living entity. Sometimes we are so much proud about our position. I am CEO of this company. I am the prime minister of this country. I am such a big scientist. So much of false pride. I am a temple president. I have this position, that position. But we have to understand the reason we are in the material world means we are fallen. We are fallen souls. We are in this particular body. That means we are sinful. We are ungrateful. We were envious. Unless some can't comment with every devotee because somebody may be Paramahamsas. But unless one is a Paramahamsa, all others, we have to accept the fact that we are fallen conditioned souls. We have rejected God and we have remained in this material world. And what is there to show off? That I'm holding this particular position. We are simply insignificant. We may be thinking we are so much great, but we are simply insignificant, because the reality that I am the conditioned fallen soul is that I am living in this material world in this particular body. This is the proof, solid proof. We don't have to be very proud, of saying that I am so and so, I have this upadhi, that upadhi. But the basic thing is we are fallen conditioned souls. Therefore, devotee understands this position and helplessly cries out for Krishna. Krishna, you are my only shelter. And this he does with urgency, with the need to surrender to Krishna, with eagerness to take shelter of Krishna. So, and how this is available, his shelter is available through hearing his glories and chanting his holy names, and by serving his devotees. So why we should not take this advantage? Simply we have to accept the humble position of servant of the servant of the servant. Gopi bhartu pada kamalayora dasa dasanudas. I am the servant of the servant of the servant. Let me accept my position. I am the servant. I am Krishna Das. And in this mode, if we serve Guru and the Vaishnavas, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he will accept our service. So we have to understand Krishna accepts our service only through service to Guru and service to Vaishnavas. There is no other possibility. We cannot approach Krishna directly. So one of the devotees, they were giving, I think, Srila Prabhupada's Vyas Puj, and he was mentioning about the story of Prachetas and Lord Narayana. Why Lord gave darshan to Prachetas? It was not because they were fasting, or it is not because they were doing austerities, and it is not because they left the home, renounced so many things. Of course, these are all, it's very good. But why Lord gave darshan to Prachetas? It was because they were cooperating with each other for the purpose of pleasing Krishna. On the higher principle of pleasing Krishna, they were cooperating with each other, and that was the purpose why Lord appeared and gave his special mercy to them. And in this particular pastime, we understand that Lord wanted to show that when my devotees, they cooperate with each other for the pleasure of Krishna, that pleases him. And that is the principle one has to understand. Cooperation with other Vaishnavas. And that is very much required, because unless one cooperates with one another, one cannot serve better. Especially in the Kali Yuga. Because in Satya Yuga, we know the story, pastime of Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj, he performed so much of tapasya. Narada Muni approached him and gave him the mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So actually, and he gave him some instructions. So when spiritual master gives the instructions, we have to understand through these instructions, Guru gives Krishna to disciple. And when disciple, he practices or follows those instructions, Krishna is manifesting through, because Krishna is pleased there. So here Dhruva Maharaj, he was intensely, he was following the instructions of his spiritual master, Narada Muni. And even though he was alone, all alone in the forest, he could achieve the perfection. But in Kali Yuga, it is not possible. Can somebody mute, please?
Yeah, muted, Prabhu.
So, Dhruva Maharaj was all alone. In Kali Yuga, that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu established Harinama Sankirtan. Samyak means in unity, coming together, we have to glorify the Lord. That is the process, like cooperating with each other, serving together with each other, hearing together with eagerness, serving together with eagerness, perform deity worship together with eagerness. So this is the way we have to practice. We need each other. We have to understand, I cannot perfect myself all alone. So that's why Srila Prabhupada used to say, one who says that I can become Krishna consciousness without the association of devotees is insane. Insane. He uses the word very strongly, insane. Insane means, the word. So actually, that is why we have to understand the power of association. And this Harinam Sankirtan is the prime benediction to achieve the highest perfection. But to achieve the highest perfection, we have to learn the art how to associate with devotees. How to, we have to have the satsanga. It is, first of all, we have to become eager to hear about Krishna, chant about Krishna. And at the same time, we have to inspire others to hear about Krishna, others to chant the glories of Krishna. It is not that we come in the Shrimad Bhagavatam class and we sleep and we think when the class will be over. It is not that when we are sitting in the japa chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. I am feeling it's so boring when I will finish my rounds so that I can do other things. Or it is not we are taking some excuses to leave Shrimad Bhagavatam class or leave the kirtan, leave the place of temple. Not that way. We have to be enthusiastic. We have to be eager to hear. We have to be running for Shrimad Bhagavatam class. And not only in the Shrimad Bhagavatam class, after the class, we have to talk about it. What did Prabhuji tell or what did Maharaj tell in the class? What do we understand? How can we apply this in our life? So when devotees come out, instead of speaking about so many other things, what did you hear about class? What is your realization? That means in this way, when you are trying to understand, eagerly trying to read Srila Prabhupada's books. What did you read about what did you read today in Srila Prabhupada's books? I read about, him telling about the Mayavadis, how, they are cheating, how the great scientists are cheating. What did you read about? It's nectar to read Srila Prabhupada's books. It is nectar to hear Shrimad Bhagavatam. This is how we should be so much eager to hear and chant, or hear and read about Srila Prabhupada's books. Sometimes we come to together with devotees in our Sunday feast program or any other time. We say, Hare Krishna, how are you? And we are fine, thank you. And they are also telling how we are fine, thank you. And then that's all again, Hare Krishna. That's what is that uh, speech about the devotees. It's closed there itself. It should not be like that. There are so many things to speak about Krishna. It is because Krishna is unlimited. Harikatha is unlimited. There are so many things we can share with each other about Hari, Krishna. Tell me, what did you read? What did you hear today? We have to go beyond how are you, Hare Krishna. What did you hear? What did you read? Tell me something about Krishna. Do you know, I heard that Prabhuji telling the whole Gaudiya philosophy in very short and simplified way. Just listen to it. We can share realizations. So, how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was eager to see Lord Jagannath, how he was hearing Dhruva Maharaj story, Prahlad Maharaj story hundreds of times. We should also be following in the footstep, just to eager to be hearing, eager to speak about Krishna, eager to see the deities, eager to chant. And in this way, we have to remind each other about Radha and Krishna. And this is really the association. When we start developing the loving relationship with each other, with devotees, each other, on this principle of inspiring each other to do more devotional service, and then actually this is the fundamental principle. This is really the association. And the inspiring others to do devotional service, it starts with inspiring others to hear about Krishna Katha. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, and chanting his holy name. Shravanam Kirtanam. Inspire others to do Shravanam Kirtanam, and we be eager to do Shravanam Kirtanam. And that is the purpose Krishna descends to this world, to give the beautiful, wonderful pastimes, so that we can hear, we can relish the pastimes, and we can share the pastimes with each other. And to the degree we are eager to hear that, to that degree Krishna reciprocates. That is the thing. And we have to understand whatever is related to Krishna, it's on the absolute platform. It's beyond space, beyond time. We should not say it happened 5,000 years before. It might have happened 5,000 years before, or 5 million years before, or it's happened 5 minutes before. It is beyond time, nothing to do with anything, time or space. So we know the story in Mayapur, Kola Dweep. One devotee was there. He used to meditate upon Lord Varahadev. Actually, Varahadev, he appeared millions of years before. And this devotee was constantly thinking of Varahadev, Varahadev. He was not thinking, oh, Varahadev appeared millions of years before. Why should I hear about Varahadev? Let me hear about Alexander the Great. He just came hundreds of years before. Not that way. But he was so much thinking about Lord Varahadev, that Lord Varahadev personally appeared to him, and he told, I will appear in the golden form of Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu in Kali Yuga. So that's the reason we have to understand, hearing about Krishna, this Harikatha, Krishna Katha, it is beyond time, beyond space. Krishna can manifest right now, if we are submissive in hearing and humble in hearing, because that is transcendental sound vibration. It is not a mundane sound vibration. Transcendental sound vibration makes the pastimes into reality. That's the power of transcendental sound vibration. For example, if we speak about now, if I speak about World War II, the US and other Americans, British, they came and bombed Germany. If I speak about that, it is just an information, because it's a mundane sound which is coming, and it's just information I am giving. But if I am speaking about Krishna, 5,000 years ago, this happened. The pastimes with the gopis, pastime with gopas, that pastime is happening right now. That is the power of transcendental sound vibration. Because Krishna is beyond time, beyond space. But World War II is not beyond time, beyond space. World War II happened just now and before. And that is just information I am giving. But Krishna's pastimes are not like that. Krishna's pastimes are ever existing, always happening. Of course, it's happening somewhere in the universe, material universe, in the physical form. But whenever one devotee speaks about the pastimes, Krishna is present there, right there. Naham tishtami vaikunte yoginam hridaye shiva. So tatra tishtami narada yatra gayanti madbhakta. So wherever my devotees are chanting my glories, I am present there, right there. So we should understand so how it is important of taking shelter of Krishna through discussing these pastimes through his sound vibration, by reading Shrimad Bhagavatam, hearing Shrimad Bhagavatam. And being devotees, we need to help each other. Otherwise our heart is like dead, dry heart. We are not feeling yugaitam nimishena chakshusha pravrashaitam shunyaitam jagat sarvam govinda virahena me. We are not feeling the govinda viraha, Krishna's separation. We are not feeling. So that's why we need each other to remind that nalayanam galadashru dharaya vadanam gadgada ruddaya gira. When will I get the tears in my eyes when we hear about Krishna? So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur is told preacher should be very, very enthusiastic. So if he is filled with full of enthusiastic, then he can preach, because if you can't preach without enthusiasm, so and you can't preach until you hear with the enthusiasm and with life. So that is what he observed in Abhay. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati took note that Abhay is a very good example for hearing. He is anxious to hear. Because he is anxious to hear, he is anxious to speak. That is, he observed in the Koshi when Vrajamandala Parikrama used to happen. All the devotees, they used to go to different holy places. He go here, go there. But Srila Prabhupada used to sit and hear for hours and hours. And Srila Prabhupada used to say, so my Guru Maharaj is speaking so much big philosophy. I cannot understand so many things, but still I like to sit in his class, and I'm liking to hear how he is eager to take association of him and eager to hear. So that's the reason when some of the devotees, they were introducing Prabhupada for initiation to Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Then Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur immediately said, yes, I have taken note. Abhay likes to hear. So, and he told to all his senior leaders that whatever Abhay, since Abhay likes to hear, you print whatever he writes. So we should be eager to hear, and when we are eager to hear, we are eager to speak, and we are eager to reciprocate with the love that our Guru Maharaj is giving. We are eager to reciprocate with the love that Srila Prabhupada has given us. In Ulta Danga Junction Road, when Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he gave the first message, preach the message of Lord Chaitanya in English language to the Western world. So Srila Prabhupada made this his life and soul. It's so we have to understand, first thing is eagerness to hear, and eagerness only does not mean that we eagerly hear from one eye and it comes out of another eye and goes. Eagerness means we are reciprocating with the love that is given by our previous acharyas. So we have to follow in the footsteps, we have to serve. We have to make these instructions as our life and soul. And Srila Prabhupada did that. Whole life he prepared the same, how to spread the message, how to spread the message. And in Radha Kund, his spiritual master told, if you get money, print books. So Srila Prabhupada was eager to do it. Eager to put his whole heart in whatever, how to fulfill the desires of my spiritual master, how to repeat the message of my spiritual master. And through our own examples, Srila Prabhupada demonstrated. Of course, there were so many, his god brothers were more scholarly than Srila Prabhupada. And one god brother also told him, why don't you come and stay in our mutt? We will give you nice room, nice servants, you can comfortably stay, nice prasad. But Srila Prabhupada went to Mumbai to beg for the ticket. Please give me ticket to go to USA. And he knew there was no nice room there, no nice servants. So in this, following in the footsteps of Srila Prabhupada, so we should be eager to hear, eager to serve. So in one temple, actually, one temple temple president, he came to one Maharaj and he was telling, the only time when we hear about Krishna in ISKCON temples, not all temples, but some temples he is telling, is about during the class, some Krishna we hear. And after the class, what happens? Everybody will talk about the management, what happened in your this one. I changed my job, so many problems, what we are doing, what the other devotees are doing, what is problem in others devotees life. We speak all the things but hardly about Krishna. Actually, kirtaniya sadahari, we are supposed to always think about Krishna, hearing always about Krishna. But what we do, we hear about Krishna only during the Shrimad Bhagavatam class. My quota for today is over. I have finished 1 hour of hearing, and I will give one class in the week, and my quota of speaking is also over. This is not eagerness. Eagerness means 24 hours, always, whenever we get the chance, talk about Krishna. Somehow connect with Krishna. If some devotees come and tell, my doctor told me I should not eat banana, somehow connect it to Krishna's pastimes. Oh, Kolavach Sridhar used to sell banana leaves, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to come bargain about it. So somebody wants something, message.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I have a small doubt. Can you ask him now?
Yeah, Mataji.
Haribol Prabhuji. Actually, I have a small doubt. The thing is, animals do not have karma, only humans do karma, right? Only we accumulate karma, right? Is my understanding correct?
Animals have karma, but they are not doing any karma.
Okay. I thought only during our human form we accumulate all this karma and come. It's not that way,
Yes,
right?
it accumulating karma is only in the human form of life, but karma balance will be there with the jivatma, even in the animal species. They have the huge karma account in
Yeah.
the, but they
We
are
can
not.
balance it only in human form. We can balance it and overcome the all gunas only in human form. All three gunas and go elevate only in the human form.
Yes.
So this won't be our first human form. We would have crossed many other human forms earlier, right? Because of that only we have got this. my understanding correct? I can't hear you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhu, we can't hear you. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji is in Zoom actually, but he has not exited.
Yeah. Prabhu, maybe can you hear us, Prabhu? Hare Krishna. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I think Prabhu is joining from another device.
Hari Bol, okay, Mother.
Yeah. Yes, Prabhu. Yeah. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, can you hear?
Yeah. Yes. Yes, Prabhu. Perfect. Yeah.
Sorry, there was some connection issues. So accumulation of karma is only in the human form of life. In animal life, nobody, I think, none of the animals will accumulate any karma, but they have a previous karma account in them. And only in human life, one can get rid of karma balance. So this is in general. Of course, by the mercy of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, even in Jharkhand forest, even animals, they were blissful and they got the love of God. That's a different thing. But in general principle is, yes, only in human form of life. So in this way, we need to connect, all our topics to Krishna consciousness. Here we see Vidura's example. Even though he was sent, by Duryodhana, inimical towards him, he was not inimical towards Duryodhana. So this is the Vaishnava principle. He was a well-wisher of everyone. So this is the same way we see Prahlad Maharaj, Haridas Thakur, Amrish Maharaj. They were given so much of sometimes chastisement. What is gone?
Hare Krishna. Meenakshi Mataji.
Nothing, Prabhuji. That was a message for another Mataji. Sorry, it came onto the screen. That's why I deleted it.
Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
So here Vidura was the well-wisher, thinking of others' welfare. So we have to understand how those who acted impiously or piously, both are suffering in this material world. One who is acting in the pious way or one who is acting in the impious way. So we should be eager to hear. We should be eager to preach. When we go to maybe we are going to pilgrimages, or we are
chanting at home, we are doing deity worship at home, we should be developing this eagerness. This is really the best virtue we can develop in our spiritual life. So in the Shrimad Bhagavatam, it is said, Shushusho Shaddadhanasya Vasudeva Kataruchi Syan Mahat Sevaya Vipra Punyatirtha Niveshanat. So by serving those devotees who are completely free from all the sins, this great service is, then we can develop the eagerness to hear. So by doing service to the great Vaishnavas, one gains affinity for hearing the message of Lord Vasudeva. So today in our class, what did we see? Can somebody tell which is the main thing? What did we see today's class? Main thing.
Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat
Yeah.
Pranams Prabhuji.
Hare
Today,
Krishna.
in the class, we learned that how we can approach Lord Shri Krishna only through Guru, and we should be enthusiastic to hear more about the Lord.
Yes.
And we should be thinking that the pastimes are taking on even now, because those pastimes, Krishna is eternal and his pastimes are also eternal.
Yeah,
So we have
somebody else can share some
conviction.
more points. Mataji shared nicely. What did we hear?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. You also
Hare
said that we also said that it's not enough if we just hear a class at one time and we do not follow on those principles and practice. And we should always be eager to serve the Lord in whatever chance we get, how many ever times we get, and whenever we get. So our devotional service should be uninterrupted and unmotivated. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yes,
Yeah,
Mataji.
one second, Mataji. Today's verses are covered 3.1.41 to 3.1.45. Okay. Somewhere Mataji is asking. So yeah, go ahead, Mataji.
Yes, yes, Prabhuji. We also learned that hearing Bhagavatam every day, and we should also think how we can apply this into our life. So we have to think about and speak of Harikatha and how to apply in our life. We have to take care of that, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. So
Hare
anybody
Krishna.
other? Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. We also learned that whatever we do, we must do Krishna Arpanam. Every time we must offer the Krishna whatever work we are doing. We must put in a center. Krishna, we must put in a center. And this human form we get, so we must use this human life to take the shelter of the Lord and surrender to Him. Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji.
Dandavat Pranam. So I think the last point which I made, Shushusho Shaddadhanasya Vasudeva Kataruchi, how to develop the Vasudeva Kataruchi by serving a pure devotee of the Lord. That is the secret of success. So if we have time, we can share some more. Otherwise, we can take some questions, comments if they are there. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Yes,
Hare
if someone, some devotees wants to ask questions, they can raise their hands. Suma Mataji. Yeah, go ahead, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you so much for the wonderful class, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranams. Prabhuji,
Dandavat.
my question is that Krishna does not, we cannot approach Krishna directly. So we have to go through Guru Parampara. While offering Bhoga, how can we perfectly do, Prabhuji? Like we have to pray, offer it to the Gurus or directly offer it to the Krishna? Or
We always, when we are doing prasad bhoga offering to Lord, first we are chanting the pranam mantra of our Guru and pranam mantra of Srila Prabhupada, then of Gauranga. So always it is whichever devotional service we are doing, We are always approaching Krishna through our Guru. So our Guru approaches his Guru, and he will approach his Guru. So ultimately, that is through Guru Parampara, it is going to Krishna. It is like I have my fan rotating here, and I have tube light. Now power supply is coming here. So this power, this connection is there in the pole outside. So that pole is connected to another pole is connected to another pole, and like that it goes to the powerhouse. So I'm very sure the power is coming from the powerhouse. The same way this pole gets connected to the powerhouse. So the same way Guru Parampara through gets connected to Krishna. So we cannot always directly approach Krishna. So it is always through Guru, or if it is through other Vaishnavas, so other Vaishnavas he will connect to his Guru. So it's either through Vaishnavas or through Guru. So because no.
Sorry, Prabhuji. Sorry for the interruption. Exactly how we should pray, Prabhuji, like to the Guru or to Krishna, Prabhuji? Like that is my question.
To Guru, always to Guru. I mean to Guru and also Krishna. But the prayer goes through Guru only, everything. And whatever is coming down also, it comes through Guru. It is Guru is the via medium for a disciple, to and fro from Krishna. Understood, Mataji? Because for him, for his Guru, he will not directly connect to Guru. He will go through his Guru. So that way, it is always through, for us, it is always our spiritual master. Why it is always through our spiritual master? Because Krishna does not accept anything which is not 100% pure. Even if it is 99.9999%, he will not accept it. It is only if it is 100% pure devotional service. Krishna accepts only 100% pure devotional service. And when we are offering, it may be mixed devotional service. So Krishna does not accept mixed devotional service. So that's why we offer through our Guru. And since our Guru is a pure devotee, when he offers our devotion on our behalf, Krishna accepts it, because Krishna accepts only 100% pure devotional service. And when since our Guru is pure devotee, when he offers it to Lord, Krishna accepts it. But when we are offering, if it is mixed devotional service, Krishna will not accept it. Why? Because Krishna doesn't accept mixed devotional service.
Understood, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, one more small doubt, Prabhuji, like the 16 rounds chanting that we are doing, can we do that in a group, Prabhuji, in the devotee association, or should we do it alone? And then for the rest other chantings, we should join.
It's a personal japa, so you can do it in the group, but you have to hear what you are chanting. That's very important. Where what you are chanting, you are pronouncing Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So that you have to hear. What you are pronouncing, you have to hear. So whether you are doing it in a group or whether you are doing alone, what you are pronouncing, you have to hear. That is the personal japa. So you can hear it, do it along with the group. That's what we do in the temples. So many hundreds of devotees are chanting, but we are hearing our own pronunciation, our own sound vibration which we are chanting. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. But Krishna assured, Patram Pushpam Palam Toyam Yume Bhaktya Prayachati Tadaham Bhakti Pahatnam Asnami Prayatatmana.
Yes.
He will directly accept even if you give Patram Pushpam Palam. Then that is not going through Guru, no, Prabhuji.
Everything is going through Guru or Vaishnavas only. So even
house Sunara Chara Inda Kavaru
so before
Kumar Garu.
Hare Krishna Subbarao Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, so he is accepting our bhava, pure bhava. That should be a pure bhava. He is not, if you are just offering without any bhava, he is not accepting the things which you are offering. If he is accepting your pure bhava, which you are with pure devotional, with which you are offering. He is accepting your devotion, because we cannot offer anything to Lord. Everything belongs to him. He is just accepting our pure devotion, which is coming from the heart. And that goes through the Guru Parampara medium. That we have to always remember. We can never offer anything to Lord directly. Of course, we may think we are offering, but it always, Guru Parampara is there in between. We may forget, Srila Prabhupada is taken care. Srila Prabhupada has given us Krishna. If Srila Prabhupada would not have given us Krishna, we would not have received it. So he is the via medium. Before initiation, everybody will go through devotees and Srila Prabhupada. So always devotees and Srila Prabhupada, or Guru Srila Prabhupada, Guru Parampara is there. Always Guru and Vaishnava. We cannot directly approach Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
In today's class, we learned that only in human form we can clear our karma balance. But in that case, how did Gajendra got moksha, Prabhuji? Because it was in animal form, right, Prabhuji?
Yeah, that is what I told. There could be some exceptions, like in the Jharkhand forest, but ultimately, we have to understand the principle. Like Gajendra was also devotee in the previous life, so there will be definitely some exceptions, and it's not that only in the human form of life, because even Jharkhand forest, if you see Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he gave Krishna Prema to even the animals. So there are something called the general principles, and there are something called the exceptions. So exceptions are there, like for example, Ajamila. Ajamila is the exception. So everybody in general cases, one cannot act sinfully throughout his life and chant the holy name of Lord Narayan at the end of the life. It is not possible. So general principle, what I told, is in the human form of life. But I also told Jharkhand forest example. Though there are some exceptions that is there. For example, Gajendra also in the animal form of life. There are so many other form of life. So we have so many animals, like Jambavan is there. We have Jatayu. We have Havira Hanuman, who is monkey form. So there are so many other devotees also. So, but generally in Kali Yuga, general cases, it is like that only in human form of life we can achieve perfection. But there are so many stories, in Ramanujacharya. If you hear the story, Ramanujacharya's disciples, they eat the prasad, honor the prasad. They come to the pond and they just wash their hands there. And whatever remaining things in the hand, it gets spilled in the pond. And the fishes, they eat that prasad. They eat the prasad and they immediately get the 400 form. And they pay obeisances to the disciples of Ramanujacharya and they go to Vaikuntha. So now how we can say fishes getting liberated? So there are so many stories like this in the Shastras. We'll find so many stories. How, even Dhundukari in the ghost form is hearing Shrimad Bhagavatam and is going back to God. Some other stories in Amalaki tree, he eats the Amalaki fruit and goes back to God. So many stories are like that. But that is, it doesn't happen in the general terms. So generally in the human form of life and through sadhana bhakti, one goes through that. But there are so many exceptions. Gajendra is there, and I told so many stories that fishes going back to God. So they are there. So it's both. Like we can't say only this, because devotional service, it is on the spiritual platform. So spiritual platform means Jivatma. Jivatma means every living entity is a Jivatma. So how that Jivatma accepts the spiritual things, that intensity, the eagerness to hear, and how the Lord reciprocates to that intensity and eagerness, all the things matters. So that is what we have to understand. But general terms, yes, human life, and we follow the sadhana bhakti and we go. It may happen that you are just throwing one prasad to one dog, and it may eat that prasad and it may go back to water also. So that similar thing happened to Gajendra in this previous life. He was Indradyumna Maharaj, and that is what he could remember. And with the devotion, he offered the that lotus, and immediately Lord appeared. Hare Krishna. I hope I answered.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Wonderful session. We have got so many practical points to implement in our devotional life. Thank you so much. So we'll end the session, Prabhu, here with the Vaishnava Pranam mantra. Vanja kalpatarubhischa kripa sindhya patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Anant Koti Vaishnavi ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna to all the devotees. Hare Krishna. Pranam.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna Prabhuji,
Hare
Dandot
Krishna.
Pranam.
Prabhu Dandot Pranam.
Hare
Hare Krishna Mataji, Prabhuji Dandot Pranam. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Shall I end the session, Prabhu?
Dandavata pranam.
Yes, Mataji. Yes.
Yeah. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.